Hi everyone. A very warm welcome to the new file handling concept. So this is the second program in the file handling concept. Okay. Uh, yeah. So in this program, we are going to handle uh, one input file. So let me open that file. Highlight JCL. Yeah. So this is the employee file. Okay. A PS file, a flat file. Okay. The record length is 100, and yeah, this file contains 14 records. Okay. Um, okay. So let me explain the layout of the file. So this is the JCL. Let me put that screen name as JCL, and this is your file, so not needed. And let me open the copybook. Okay. Yeah, so this is the record layout of your input file. Okay. So the input file, it contains the employee ID, employee name of 16 bytes, an employee gender of 6 bytes, and employee working organization as 13 bytes, and employee year of experience as 2 bytes, and employee salary as 9 bytes. So 9 bytes is enough. So if you are willing to handle 18 bytes also, okay, that is also fine. And employee rating, so yeah, a single byte. uh, why we are handling in a single byte the employee rating? Okay, so we are handling it in single byte. Okay, that's okay. And then uh, your employee age, so that is just at 2 bytes. 2 bytes is enough. So if you want to add one more byte, that's up to you, but 2 bytes only we can accommodate, because no one is going to work after 100 years. And employee city, so we gave it as 17 bytes. In India, few cities having more than 10 bytes, right? For an example, Hyderabad, Secunderabad. So for that reason only we gave 17 bytes. And we have another field which is nothing but the employee marriage status. So that is of 10 bytes. Okay, so whether they are single or married, so that is what we are giving here as single or married. And then after that we are adding some 10 bytes filler, so that is nothing but you can extend the copybook in future. So if you want to add one more field also, you can add, but again you need to change the record layout of the file also. You might need to increase the record length as well. Okay, so that is the future purpose. Okay, let's deep dive into our requirement part. So we have some conditions here, like what we are going to handle here. Okay, so based on the employee rating, right, so we should update the salary field, right? So if you see the file, the flat file, this is the employee rating, which is at the 54th, sorry, which is at the 58 byte, right? So based on this employee rating, you need to update the salary field, right? So don't ask me silly questions. So what salary this is not a monthly salary, or this is not yearly salary. Okay, something. Okay, you can assume that, because for each employee the salary is like starts from 85,000 to almost 6 lakhs. So So maybe you can consider this as yearly bonus or else some rewards payout, okay, one time rewards payout, or else some gratuity amount also. So okay, don't please say this is a monthly salary. So this is just an assumption. So we randomly type some numbers here. So and also okay, and the organization name is also somewhat assumption. Okay. Okay, so if the employee is getting the top rating, the 5 rating, we need to update, like we need to give 38% hike. So if it is 429, if it is 320, if it is 211, and if it is 1, that is 6 bytes. So how we are going to handle that? So here this is the logic. So we will see the logic in the program also. So you need to evaluate the employee rating field. Okay, if it is 5, you need to update the salary field. So based on this, so if you convert that 38% into 100, like into 100, so you will get 0.38. So normally the current employee salary will be multiplied with the 0.38, and then you need to sum your current salary, so that is your new updated salary. So that is how we used to calculate the percentage increment, right? So same thing we are going to implement here for 4 also. We are going to implement that. So when other, you can also abandon the logic, right? If you want to abandon, you can abandon, or else you just want to write into an error file, you can also do that. Okay. Okay, so what is this? So this is something I typed here. So just uh, some points to know, right? So move A to B means like simply copying the data from A to B. Okay, so it means that B also having the same data like A. Okay, some people, they might think like the A will be either spaces or either zeros. So only the B is having that 1 2 3 4. So that is not correct. So that is incorrect. So this one is the correct, right? And what is the second requirement, right? So if the city name is Chennai, then you need to change it like a code word of the city, right? So that is nothing but CHN. And for the Mumbai, it is MUM. And for the Hyderabad, like that, you need to update. For Delhi, Gurgaon, everything, it's coming under NCR. And one of the most important logic here is based on the employee gender and employee marital status, you need to add the prefix to the name, right? So for the male, you no need to worry, right? Whether they are single or married, okay, you're just going to add the prefix called Mr. But for the female, you need to, yeah, you need to add the logic. Okay, if they are single, just add Miss. If they are married, you need to add Mrs. Right? Yeah, you need to add this, and then based on the employee year of experience, you just need to update the employee role. So this is also an assumption. Don't ask me silly questions. So if they are 8 or 9 years experience, just the company says give a team lead, and if they are 4 or 5, give senior developer 1. If they are 10 or 11, give the manager role. If they are 12 to 4, if they are 12 to 14, give the senior manager role. If they are 6 and 7, give the senior developer 2. If they are 3, give the developer 1. If they are 2, give the junior developer. And if they are 1, give the entry level developer. So this is what the company says. Also, again, a points to remember. So always in the right statement, right, you should give the logical name of the file, or else that is wrong, right? So you should give the output record layout. So what I'm saying is go to the copybook, and even for the output file we have the copybook here. So yeah, you need to give the right employee out while writing the data into an output file, right? So that is what I'm saying. You just give the record layout header, right? That's it. And yeah, so this is how we are going to handle that logic. So almost four kind of different logic we are handling here. So see, if the employee is married and employee gender is female, then we are just moving Mrs. Else, if employee marriage status is single and they are female, then you have to handle for the female, right? So this is nothing but the nested if else statement. So you can handle like this, or else you can also add for the male, but it is not required. So you can just simplify the logic, or else you can add many more nested if else statement. And the last point is nothing but how to handle the junk characters and how to handle the abundance. So yeah, handling the abundance. So that is the last part. And what is this you dump? So this is a very important thing. This captures all the diagnostic information of your program, including where the program got failed or stopped running, right? So this is you dump, you always like used to give in the JCL, like the syntax, right? Sys you dump dd sys out equal to star, or else you can give a PS file name, right? And another thing is also there, sys about something, okay, same, that is also same, okay. Either you can give anything, okay, you can just google it out like what is coming. And then what about the file status code? We just need to remember few file status code, okay. Yeah, so dd name mismatch, so file status code 35 and then 39, like error in opening the file. Okay, so those things you need to remember, 35, 39. So these are the very famous file status code. And 10 is, you know, that end of file, right? You can also search in the internet, so I'm not going deep into that concept. Okay, let me jump into the program. Okay, so what the program says. So this is the coding standard, like of your program in the project also, right? So in the identification division, like generally it contains the general information of the program, like when they wrote this program and then when they compiled it, and what is the confidentiality level of this program. So that is called security, and who is the author. Okay, but what are the necessity statements? Only the two statements, the program ID and the program name, that's it. So remember, so these two, it's required. So reminding everything, it is not required. Okay, and yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah, let me jump into the environment division. Yeah, give me 2 minutes, please. Okay, so in the environment division, we have two sections. One is nothing but the input output section, and another one is nothing but the configuration section. So configuration section, mostly we use the currency symbols like dollar, okay, and then we will give the mission information like what mission we are using, but that is also not required. So here in the input output section, so you need to declare the dd name of the file, and then you need to declare the logical name of the file, and that logical name of the file should match with the dd name that you are giving in the JSON, right? And yeah, this is the paragraph. File control is the paragraph. Input output is a section under the division, right? So this is our input file logical name, so that is nothing but in file. So the logical name, okay, you can define it, okay, so please define it like within the 8 characters, so that is good. So I think that will be accepted. So please define within the 8 characters. So here also, like, we define like within that 8 characters limit, and here this is also 8 characters, right? So always practice that. If you are exceeding that 8 characters, I don't know like what error will come. So we also can yeah, we also can do that, right? And yeah, and what about the file status code? So the file status code, right, so you need to declare that, because which is very important. Okay, it should be unique for each file. Okay, and yeah, the error file also, yeah, same thing. Now coming to the next section, which is very important, the data division, like where you can define your own variables and then where you can define the files variable, right? So under that we have the file section and the working storage section. So the file section, like you need to declare the layout of the file description paragraph. So the in file, the logical name of the file you should declare here. So here the logical name, so whatever you define here, that should come in the file description, right? So yeah, this is the comment, you can just for your reference. So the input file record layout is 100 bytes, and this is the copy book. Either you can code copy or else you can just type all the record layout, right? Yeah, the first one is your employee ID, which is of 5 bytes, and then for every field there is one filler. So that is a good practice. You can either add like x, okay, x of 1 value comma also. So what I'm saying is, I will type here, you can add filler x of 1 value comma. So you can also initialize like this the filler, right? So what happens, another important question or stuff you need to know, what happens when you initialize the filler? Answer is nothing, it remains the same. Right? So you just try this, because I'm saying, but you need to try and then you need to prove that, right? And can we display the comp data? Yes, we can display the comp or binary data in the program sysout. Okay, so yes, but normally, right, we cannot see the data in the file, but in the sysout we can see it, right? But you should also remember we cannot see the data when it is written into the file, right? So you should also remember this. So these are some important points I'm just saying before deeply diving into the program. Okay, and then everything same, guys. Employee name, employee gender, employee company, you need to declare everything whatever, yeah, in the file. Okay, Now F9, same thing for the output file. So we are just adding like additional 10 bytes. You know the reason, right? Because we are adding the employee prefix as 4 bytes, right? And then we are adding what else, guys? We are adding the no, we are not adding anything. Yeah, we are adding the employee role as 25 bytes, right? So that is also very important. And then yeah, so those two fields we are adding extra. I think some fields, right? I think we have decreased the size here, so we need to check that. Then yeah, we need to compare and we need to check that. Okay. And the employee role, there is a new field, so I'm just declaring here like that. And then the city field, right? The city field, the 17 bytes that was decreased, and those 17 bytes went into the employee role. It is decreased to 3 bytes, right? And then the same thing, the error file, right? If it is a gender error alone, we are just capturing it. So you can also capture other fields as well, like if it is year of experience error, or if it is a rating error, or if it is an age error. So that also you can capture that. Okay. So but for the training purpose, I'm just capturing the gender error, and then you have to try for the other fields, right? So I'm just saying for the gender error alone. So there is around 120 bytes. Okay. And whatever, the next important section is working story section, where you can define all the variables, like your own variables. Yeah, the first thing is the file status codes, and the counter variables are nothing but the accumulators. So I'm just yeah, declaring with the 5 bytes, that is enough. Your input count and your output count and your error record count. And yeah, for the display purpose, I'm just displaying the employee COBOL program 1. So I'm just giving in the value class. And then for the append, okay, so guys, so this is not a project thing, right? So here, how to append the program, right? So mostly we append the program like by calling a module which is not at all present, right? So you know that what error will come for that S806, right? Yeah, that is nothing but the load module not found, the executable module not found for the program. So similar way we are going to append, right? So we don't have any append utility like purchase from the IBM to append it. So this is our own software. So we have to append it by S806 alone. So don't confuse that. Okay, why we are appending it? Yeah, so we are going to call the program called append L, or else you can also rename it like append M or something. That's up to you, right? And what about the program description? So there is nothing but the bonus file program. Okay. And what is, yeah, I think in order to handle that role, we need to declare one temporary variable, and for the new city also. And in order to handle that employee salary, we need one temporary variable, and then for the prefix also, right? And this is our flag or Boolean flag. So before starting the logic, or before proceeding the logic, the program always assumes that the Boolean flag is false, right? So if the file, okay, reaching the end of the data, so then only like this Boolean flag will be set into the true, right? So that is the purpose of the end of file. And for the gender, so we are just declaring in the value class. So there is some reason here, so we are going to handle this also, right? Because we are going to validate the male and female as well. So this is called a separator in order to show the sysout in a very cosmetic way. So that is good. And this is your input file name and output file name and error file name, and then copybook. So this was used or defined in order to display like the append information. For that alone, like we coded this, right? So that's it, guys. So let me jump into the main part of the logic, which is nothing but the procedure execution. So the program kickstarts here, and then we always say is like the program started fine. That is one of the display line we are going to have, right? Now whenever you're going to do the file operations, you just need to open the file, and then you just need to start reading the data, or else you need to fetch the data one by one, and then you have to process it one by one. So before processing the data, you need to validate whether the data is perfect or not. So I'm just saying, so first you need to open the file, then you need to read the file, right? Then you need to validate the data, right? Then you have to process, then you have to write the output, then you have to close it. So close is not a mandatory in COBOL, but that is a good habit, right? You can close the file. So this is the file handling operation in the COBOL. So while validating the data, right, while validating the data, we may get the junk also while validating the data. So if we get the junk, then we need to abandon the process, right? If the data is good, right, if the data is good, we can process it. So this is a simple concept, guys, in the file handling. Yeah, now read the file until the file status code, until the file status code, or else until end of file, which is nothing but equal to y, or else you can also do like this, until the first file equal to 10, the status code equal to 10. Yeah, you can do like this, guys. Like what I'm saying is ws end of file equal to y, that also you can do, or else ws file status 1 equal to 10, so that also you can do. So both the things you can write, okay? But I always prefer this one because the boolean flag, right, you have to correctly initialize and you have to correctly like give the value, you have to pass it, so you have to be very careful. And then we are closing it, and then we are like display, and then here I'm just displaying the data, and then this is the stop run, the end of the program. Stop run, like it gives the control back to the operating system from this your real runtime program. So in the open para, you need to open the file. So the input file, we are going to perform the read operation, so you need to open in the input mode, and the output file, we are just going to like perform the write operation, so then you need to open in the output mode. So this I think I taught in the previous video itself, in the file handling part 1. So please see that video if you want to know more about the file open modes. Okay, there are 4 open modes: input, output, IO, and extend, right? So input is for read, output is for writing, IO is for updating, extend is for appending, right? So those are the open modes I already taught in the previous class. So please watch that video if you need to know more, right? And then you need to evaluate the file status code while opening itself. If the file is not opening properly, you will get file status code 39. So that is what I said, the file status code 39. If the file is not opening properly, then you will get this error, right? Yeah, so same thing you have to do for all the output files. Now read the file. Okay, so I told the program itself will assume, no, it will not assume, you have to set that, right? So you have to set that it is not an end of file, you have to start fetching or reading the data one by one. So if it is end, then this flag will be set to true, that is end of file. If it is not at end, like okay, the process is still in progress, the program is still reading the data from the file. So either you can increment the counter here, or else you can also increment the counter after your end read also. That's not a problem. So I'm just displaying like what are the data, like we are reading it from the file. So this is not required, guys, in the project. You need to comment it out. Just you need to add this counter variable. So even while reading also you will get some errors. So for that also you need to evaluate that file status code. So if it is a successful read, then you can go for the further process called validation, right? If it is end of file, we are just displaying it. If we are just displaying it, and then if it is not a successful operation, then you have to debug it. What is the error code you got, right? Now coming to the validation para. So since our file having numerous um, uh, numeric data and then alphanumeric data, right? So we have to validate the numeric data first and then also the alphanumeric, right? So for that we have to do the validation. So let me check. So what are the field we are just going to do the validation? The first is employee year of experience. So when the year of experience is not numeric, we're just simply abandoning the process. That is nothing but we are just going to stop the record from the process. And if the employee age is also not numeric, same thing we are doing it. We're just displaying like where is the error and what is the record number. So we have to display that also, right? And if the employee's salary is not numeric, in the same way we are abandoning that. And what else, guys? If employee rating is also not numeric, we are abandoning that also. So when okay, if it is a good data, you can go for the processing, right? The input data is good, you can go for the processing. So what about the gender, guys? So if it is a male and female, it's a good one. If it is other than male or female, then it's an error. Write that into an error para and perform the abandon routine as well. Okay. Now coming to the process para. So what are the other fields you need to validate? Okay, I'm not going to validate all the fields. So first we validated the gender, then we validated the year of experience, we validated the age, we validated the rating, and you need to so then you need to validate the marital status. You please try it on your own. Also you please validate the employee CT also, like if any junk is coming, so that also you need to validate. And then you can also validate the other fields like the employee ID and then the employee name, right? If you want to validate, you can validate, guys. So I will say like for this alphanumeric, you just need to say like employee ID is alphanumeric, like this you have to validate for the alphanumeric. And for the alphabetic, right? Yeah, that is alphabetic, or you can say greater than spaces, right? Then greater than zeros, like this also you can do for the numeric and alphabetic data, guys. Okay, so these are the alternate things. You please try it on your own, and then if you have any doubt, please add in the comment section, so we will reply back, or else please call us for the training purpose, or else if you need any doubts, please call us. We will reply back, and then we will reply back in the WhatsApp itself, right? So I will give the WhatsApp number. So this, we will not pick up any call unless it is urgent. First you need to text us, then we will say the solution. If it is not resolvable, then we can attend the call, right? So this is just a WhatsApp number. This is not like you cannot dial us, only we can dial you. So just ping us in the WhatsApp, right? I will give the WhatsApp number in the video itself. If you need any doubts, please ping us. Okay, then Yeah, then coming to the process para, guys. So yeah, as I said, we're just going to handle the employee salary. So I'm just copying the data into one temporary variable, okay, which is the same size of the employee salary. Okay, I'm just displaying the summary before the update. So what is the employee salary before update? So now you need to evaluate the employee rating. When it is 5, we are giving 38%, and when it is 4, 29%, and when it is 3, we are giving 20%. When it is 2, we are giving 11%. When it is 1, we are giving 6%. So when other like this, we have to code. Okay, now after update, you just need to have this. And then yeah, coming to the point, like how we are adding the prefix to the employee name. So based on the gender, when it is a male, okay, you can close your eyes and then you can say, okay, you are a Mr. Man, you are a Mr. But when it is a female, the complexity increases, right? So like you need to handle like this. Okay, if it is a female and if it is a single, then like you need to move ms dot. Else if it is a female and then married, you have to move mrs dot, that is nothing but mrs, right? So and then you have to close this endf, and also you need to close this endf. So you can also extend this endf like for the male, but yeah, so I coded it separately in order to understand the logic. It's very simple, right? This is nothing but the nested, yeah, nested if statement. And what about the next thing? We are just going to add the employee role. So when it is 8 or 9, when it is 8 or 9, as per the logic, it's a team lead. When it is 6 or 7, as per the logic, it is senior developer 1. When it is 5 or 4, as per the logic, it is senior developer 1. And when it is 10 or 11, it's a manager. When it is 12, 13, 14, it's a senior manager. See, the logic differs here. Okay, if it is a 12 and if it is a less than or equal to 14. So less than or equal to 14 means here 11, it does not count the 11, but it takes from the 13 and 14 because I use the and, right? So here, okay, it ranges like it gives the senior manager to 12, 13, 14 also. Okay, so anyway we will test this. Okay, because we have to be careful here. If some employees having an experience of 10, okay, there is a chance they will get senior manager as well, but that is wrong. Okay, but this is how the logic will be, right? So because people will confuse here. Okay, we gave less than or equal to 14, then okay, 10 also will get the senior manager, then this 8 also will get the senior manager. No, because you have to look at the condition before that. If it is 12 and yeah, and means both statements should be true, then only we can move the senior manager, right? So yeah, so when other, yeah, you can abandon the process, or else I'm not going to abandon it because we have less than this 4 also, right? We have 3, 2, 1, so you should not abandon it. You just need to continue it, or else you can give the error, right? So but you need to continue it because we have to handle that also, right? So when they are 3, they are developer 1. When they are 2, they are junior developer. When they are 1, they are ELT developer. So you cannot abandon it because you have to skip that when other, then continue it, right? So you can abandon it only when there is a junk data in the year of experience, right? Now the last condition is nothing but you have to abbreviate the CD name, right, into the 3-letter yeah, abbreviation or short forms. So that is what we are doing here. Yeah, so Gurugram means GRM, that's okay. When other means, okay, there is an employee city error. Right now, after all the updates, we're just going to display like what are the fields we updated, and then we have to write into an output file. So that is what we are moving the data from the employee input to the employee output. So only one thing we additionally move, which is nothing but the role and the prefix also, right? Where you are moving the prefix, please go up. Where is the prefix here? Okay, I think we missed that prefix here. What? I think no. I think that. Okay. I think you are moving that also, right? The prefix also you are moving it, right? Yeah, we have to check that output file, guys. So I think that prefix also we should move. Okay, I got it. Maybe in the employee name itself you are adding that prefix or what? I think go up a little bit, go up. Yeah, and the prefix, right? Yeah. Okay, here itself you are moving it. Okay, then where you are moving that employee prefix? Prefix. Okay, here itself you are moving. Okay. Then it's not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah. Yeah, there itself you are moving. I think that will be reflected in your output file. Maybe we have to check that. Okay, we have to check that. Yeah, we can check that. Okay, that's a good catch. Anyway, and then we are writing into the output file. Similarly, we have to evaluate while writing. Also, we might get the right error. And then yeah, same thing in the error file, guys. Okay, and then we are only handling that gender error. That's okay. Reminding everything right the same. And the final thing is the description, the detailed summary of your program. What is the program name? What is the program description? How many records you processed? How many records you written into the output file? How many error records got catched by this program? And very important, guys, the abandon routine, right? The developer should code this abandon routine in a very detailed manner, so then only the prod support person can easily catch the junk data and then he can easily resume the process without any hesitation. So in every project you should code this abandon routine in a very detailed manner, right? So you should code like what is a file name, so which file contains that junk data, because in some project they don't even say the file name. Okay, the support person, like, he will look into the JCL and then he will just trace that variable, and then it will take some time to know which file is having that junk data. But in order to avoid that, you please give the file name itself, because if it's a very critical job, okay, you that support person needs to fix that as immediate as possible. So what I'm saying is give the file name itself, and then also give a copybook name also. Okay, that guy, you should not search entire program and then you should find another copybook, right? Please, developers, I'm praying this. You, if you are a good developer, please code like this, okay? Because prod support is a very hectic job, so they don't know like from where the error is coming, and then that's a very different and difficult one, right? So please. And what about the, like, which record, like using the counter also you need to track it. And then the key field, right? The employee ID is the key field, that is the unique field. That's enough, but these are all additional things, but it's not required. Just add that what is the key field, unique field, right? Okay, or else you can, if there is no unique field, you can add all other details. Okay. Okay, so now yeah, so this is the input file, right? So yeah, let me submit the job, then after that, okay, yeah, now let me explain that JCL, right? First of all, so this is our job which executes the program, right? So in project, okay, you have a non-cat2 and then you can delete the predefined or already cataloged files, okay? But here we are just deleting it using the IFBR14. I don't have any non-cat2, So I'm just deleting it. Okay. And see, one point you need to catch that. Okay. The employee error file is of 120 bytes, but what I gave here is 110 bytes. So for the IEFBR 14, the record length doesn't matter, guys. Okay. But I gave 110, but again it is deleting that file and then cataloging a new file, right? You need to understand that. But it doesn't matter, the record length and all, it doesn't matter. So I'm just giving 120, I'm just correcting it and then I'm just giving it. Okay, so yeah, so and then let me explain the next step. So this is our program name and this is where the program executable module resides in. So this is the PDS, the load module. Okay, so your PDS where you can see the program employee. So okay, sorry guys, what is this? I just need to copy this. 9, yeah, you can see this is the load module, right? And then I'm just searching the date 2023, right? No, then 2024. You can see when it is compiled, I think 12/13. I think today only it is compiled, huh? Yeah, so today only it is compiled, so you can see the date, right? What else? Yeah, then I said sysprint is like it just prints all the catalog information, and this is very important for your vSAM ITCAMS utility. And sysout, okay, writes all the output information into the spool, or else you can also write into the dataset, and then you can add additional thing like sys udump and sys about. That's up to you, but this software itself generates that sys udump on its own, but in project you have to write that. Okay, so this is our input file, which is of 100 bytes, and our output file is 110 bytes, and the error file is 120 bytes. Space is enough, guys, for 14 records. This is enough. So this is the space of the file, and then you need to give this volume serial information as well for this software requirement. Yeah, so let me submit the job. Yeah, let's see what it's happening. Before submitting the job, you should come out of that file. Yeah, so yeah, the job ended successfully. Okay, let me go to the spool. So you need to come to the sysout. Yeah, so it says the program started fine. Good. Now yeah, now in like, yeah, now the control comes to the open para, then read para. In the read para, like the first data is nothing but the first employee ID Vignesium. So then it goes to the validation, it says the input data is good, then it goes for the processing para. So the before update, it says the employee salary is 1,50,000, and after update we got 1,93,500. Okay, now just we need to validate whether we got the correct updated salary or not. So is rating is 4. For 4, as per the logic, it's a 29% hike, right? Let me open the calculator. Okay, yeah, so what is the current salary? It is nothing but 1,50,000, right? Yeah, so that is the current salary, 0.29, so into 29, so 43,500. that is his hike amount plus 1,50,000. So it is of 1,93,500 is the new updated salary for this person, right? Yeah, if you see here, like, yeah, he is getting 1,93,500. Now after update summary, you can see like the prefix also passed here without any trouble, and is a single, just yeah, no need to worry about that. But he got senior developer 1. Let me check that what is the year of experience for this guy. So he is 5 years of work experience. For 5 years, what is the thing, guys? Yeah, Yeah, if it is a 4 or 5, it is a senior developer 1. Yeah, that is also correct. Okay. Okay, I think that is good, guys. So, and then it is also validating the employee gender, so that is also not having any junk data. Yeah, it just came like male. That's okay. Yeah, then that's good, guys. And then the program proceeds for the next data, like Murali, right? Yeah, it processes one by one, right? It goes for the next employee ID, Murali. Okay, let me go to the female, right? Then maybe Shubhashree. Shubhashree is the first female. Shubhashree, or who is the first? I think Meenakshi, right? Meenakshi, yeah. I think find Meenakshi. Yeah, now come to the Meenakshi record. Okay, it says everything is good in the validation process, and then the program went for the processing of the data. Okay, you can see the salary before update is 1,15,000, but after update is 1,38,000. So the rating, right? The rating, I think she got I think third rating. For third rating, I think the hike amount is around 20%, right? So yeah, let me calculate that also, like we got the correct data or not. I think we yeah, 1,15,000 into 0.20. Sorry, this is 11, right? So sorry, 1,15,000 into 0.20. Again, 1,15,000 into 0.20, 23,000. Okay, plus 1 lakh, 15,000. So yeah, the salary is updated correctly. Okay, so yeah, that's okay, guys. So now you can see right here the prefix also passed correctly because she is yet to be married, so we got Miss. Okay, then the role also she got as senior developer 1, because you can see the year of experience is just 4 is also senior developer 1 as per the logic, right? As per the logic, it is senior developer 1, guys. Okay, then what else, guys? Okay, I think that is also good. Okay, and even for the Kamakshi, yeah, Kamakshi is married, but you can see right the role is updated as Mrs. Okay, and who else, guys? Pratana, she is single, but yeah, she got Miss. So this is our validation. Shubhashree, okay, she's a married, but she got Mrs. Okay, that's also good. She is a senior developer 2, Shubhashree. I think her year of experience is 7. Okay, that's good, guys. 7 is a senior developer. 7. Yeah, senior developer 2 alone. Okay. Okay, then what else? You have to validate all the data properly. Here, right, for the Kirti, Sri, Vigneshwar, and Rameshwar, and Priya. So these are the guys like having an experience of 10, 12, 13, 14. So here the possibilities like manager and senior manager, but let's see what it is throwing here, right? For the last 4 records. Okay. Yeah, Lakshmi Sri, you can see, right? She is also senior developer 2, right? Is that correct? Okay, that's good. 6 is, yeah. Now coming to the next record, Vigneshwar, right? The employee ID, okay. He is getting 4,78,000, but the new updated salary, that's good. Okay, now you can see his work experience, right? He got senior manager. Okay, he got senior manager. So his work experience is 12. For 12, yeah, senior manager only will come, right? So for 12, as per the logic, senior manager will come. Okay, now same thing, guys. 14 and 13 we have to look for this other employees, right? For Kirti Sri and Rameshwar. For Kirti Sri 13, and she also got senior manager, that is also good. And what about Rameshwar? Yeah, he is also good, guys. Like you can see, Rameshwar is also having 13, right? So that's good. So our logic is working fine. What about Priya? She's just 10 years of work experience, right? Let's see what about Priya also. She got manager. That's good. So our logic is working fine, guys, right? So you need not to worry about that. If somebody is having 11, that then there also will manager will come. Okay, I will change that also here. For Priya, I'm just changing it as 11. Okay, I'm just going to submit the job once again. Then also for Priya, we will get that manager. I have submitted the job. Here we got max is 0. Go to the sysout. Find Priya. Yeah, come down. She got manager. Even for 10, 11, she got manager. Okay, let me try with 15, right? Let's see what for 15 it is coming, guys. I'm not sure because for 15 we haven't handled it. We try for 15 also. Okay. Save the file. Okay, let me submit this for Priya. Again for Priya, right? Yeah. Now come down, guys. See, she got 15. She got senior manager. See, the COBOL itself it is taking. Okay, because we haven't defined anything for the 15. Okay, but it is taking senior manager because. Okay, what is our definition, guys? Go there. You can see, right? 12 or less than or equal to 14. Like, but this logic, right? This logic you have to address it, right? So it should throw some space or something, but it is giving okay 15 as senior manager. Okay, so you have to address this. Okay, so you have to address this. So this is your task for the next thing, right? Yeah, so yeah, it is automatically assumed that it is for 15. Like you have to go to the logic, guys. Okay, yeah, I'm just saying employee year of experience. You can see right here the senior manager is moved, but when other I just said simply continue. what it will do, guys? It will assign the most recent thing, right? Yeah, so you have to be yes. So like that, guys. So like that. Okay. Yeah. So if I change greater than or equal to 14, that also will work. Okay, that also will work. So yeah, let me do that. So here I'm just going to add like greater than or equal to 14. Let's see what is going to happen. Okay, you need to compile it. The compilation is successful. Let me submit the job. Now let's see for Priya what we are getting, and for the last 3 candidates what we are getting, right? We have to see that. Oh, the job is in execution. Come out of the file, please. Yeah, okay. So let me go to the output file itself instead of looking at the. Okay. Yeah, now you can see, guys, the program got confused. It assumes senior developer 2, senior developer 2, right? So that is not the right way of coding your logic, right? So you just need to adjust it, okay, as per the logic. So you just need to find out in the next session. We will update this in the next session, like what we need to handle for that. Okay, so now I'm just reverting back all the changes. Yeah, okay, I'm just giving it as less than. Okay, that is what we gave. So that is what our logic says. Okay, just compile it, and then you have to submit the job once again. Compilation is successful. Submit the job. Now you will get everything is correct, guys. Right now you got everything, like for the Vigneshwar, Kirti, like you got the senior manager, right? So yeah, that we can handle in the next part. So this is how our validation should be like this, guys. There is no error, so we are just going to handle that also. Okay, I'm just adding 10 because we need one manager also. That's what. Yeah, go to the JCL and then submit it. Okay, now let me handle all the junk parts, guys. Okay, so in our program, I think where are the numeric fields? We handle that, right, in the validation para. Find junk. Okay, yeah, so in the area of experience and in the age and in the salary and in the rating and in the gender, we handle the what is that, we handle the error logic. Okay, and we handle the abundant routine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, like in the employee area of experience, I'm just going to add one junk data, right? Just say *5. This is not a numeric data, some junk is sitting, or else like this some dollar is sitting, right? This is not proper numeric data, so the program have to fail. Let me submit the JCL, guys. Let's see where, like how it is failing. So it is failed, guys. So we got the ABAN. Okay, yeah, now go to the sysout. Now see the ABAN information. It says employee year of experience data is junk at the record number 1. Right, at the record number 1 itself it's a junk, and then you can see the error record summary, right? You can see in the first field of the file itself, yeah, in the first record of the file itself we have the junk, right? Okay, so like this you have to handle. Okay, so yeah, now where we are going to handle the another error, right? So in the salary field I'm just going to add some junk data. Okay, so before that I will show the dump also. Okay, just find something, right? Year of experience. So you can see the junk data, it is displayed here, guys. Okay, what is the data is getting passed, that is displayed in your dump also. You can see the employee year of experience. Okay, yeah, so yeah, there only your program got failed, and then you can see like what are the values getting passed, right? So yeah, this is the dump thing. Okay, yeah, in order to retrieve your abundant information you have to go into the dump and then you have to look at that. Okay, then yeah, we are going to handle, yeah, we are going to add the junk in the salary field. I'm just adding some junk here. Okay, it should fail at the second record. Let me submit the job. Yeah, it got failed, right? Yeah, so you can see the first record, yeah, the update is done, but for the second record, so you can see the salary is junk, right? So I added that exponential, but it is came as space. You can see the second data, it is junk, so that's why it has got failed, it got abundant. So this is how you need to handle that abundant routine and all, right? You have to display like that. Okay, so our program is working fine even for the junk data, right? One of the validation I'm saying, right? What is the salary? I'm not sure. give something, some random number. Okay, some random number. I'm just saying 90,000. Okay, and this is for salary, guys. And what about the next field? So in the rating and then in the age, if I'm adding some junk data, so that also it will fail, right? So that also it should fail. I'm just adding a junk data here. Okay, and then adding a junk data in the, yeah, now adding the junk data before itself here. Which one it will fail, guys? For the fourth it will fail, then it will not go for the fifth record. Okay, for sure, right? Yeah, let me show that also. Submit that. This, yeah, this will fail at the fourth record only, not, yeah. Okay, let me come out. Yeah, yeah, you can see it got failed in the fourth record. Now you have to check whether it is got failed for fifth record also. No, it will not proceed for the fifth record. It will stop the process in the fourth record, right? Okay, okay, that is also 4, I think. Okay, and in this, in the age field, if I'm adding the junk data, okay, that is also good, guys. Okay, now in the in the gender, I'm just going to add some junk. Okay, now let's see what is going to happen. Yeah, this is not a perfect alphabetic data. Let me submit what is going to happen. Yeah, again it is getting failed. Okay, and then let me check. But this will write into an error file, and then it also fails, right? So it says, yeah, it goes for the update, guys. That's okay, guys. But you can see that the gender itself is error, and then the prefix also blank. Okay, so employee gender error, please check the error file, there is some error. Okay, and also it fails, it also fails. Now go and check the error file, guys. First it write, no, it doesn't, because the error file won't be generated because the process stops. Let me check the output file. No, that is also not generated because the program itself stops. So this is not a good practice, like first writing into an error file, then appending it. So first you need to append it, then you need not write into an error file, right? So first append. If it is something wrong, first append it, then correct it, and then continue the process. Okay, so that is what I'm just saying here. I'm just updating it as mail, re-updating it. Okay, now let me submit the job. Like, okay, sorry, guys. Now we will get the perfect output. I just want to show the summary, guys. Okay, like how the records got updated, and then I will show the output file as well. You can see, right? Now let me go to the output file, whether we have that prefix added to the name or not. Yeah, we have that prefix added to the name in the output file, but only thing is we never moved that prefix, right? Okay, what happened, guys? Why it is showing like this? Fine. Okay, this is a character, right? So prefix. So you can see, right, the prefix, we are not moving the data while writing, but here itself we are moving, right? So that's why like it is added there. Okay, yeah, you need not to again move that. Okay, you need not to again move here. Okay, that's good, that's a good thing, right? Like you can reduce the number of lines. Okay, I think this program is around 455 lines, but you know, this is what we can explain like in an online class. Okay, we cannot go for 1,000 lines of coding, right? We are just teaching like the logical point, right? What is the logic and how to handle that. Okay, yeah, so that's all for today. Okay, So like if you are interested, like the next video, right? So we will show on Java, right? So we also know like Java. In Java, we're just going to handle that exception, the input exception handling, right? So that is what we are going to show in the Java, and then we will also show some videos in Python. Yeah, if you are interested, we will also show some videos in the data science, right? And if you want to join us for the mainframe training, please contact the number shown in the screen. We will provide low cost of training for the poor students, right? Okay, if they're very poor, we are ready to teach them free also. That's not a problem. Okay, money is not a problem, but thing is, okay, few students like we have to like teach them like at low cost, right? So this is for the educational purpose alone, not for any money laundering or not for any rich or growth of myself, guys. Okay, I'm just sharing this video to know more about the COBOL and to know more about the mainframe, and that's it today. Thank you, guys.